Greg Casillo, FroKnowsPhoto.com. Really cool image this week. I love this photo. Taken with a D3000 and a 35-1.8. I think it's a Nikkor lens. Hopefully it's a Nikkor. And really, really neat. I haven't touched it. I haven't played with it. I haven't anything with it at all. So let's get to it and see what comes out. All right. Let's see. Always starting with my basic panel. And I like to start with that white balance. So I'm going to try the cloudy white balance. No, cloudy didn't do it. Maybe a shade. That's better. It just gave me a touch of warmth, especially in the yellow in here, in the sun area. I like to have that warmth in there, so that's first. Second, looking at my histogram, we have a pretty good range from highlight to shadow, so let's see what happens when I add some blacks. I think that's a good amount of blacks. Next thing I'm going to play with is some clarity. Looking good, looking good. Let's try my tone curve. Oh, I'm already on strong because that's my import preset, and I keep forgetting to turn that off for these videos. Oh well. Let's see what we can do with the sky, as always. Maybe just a touch. Probably doesn't need a whole lot. Just a little. Now, luminance is going to darken everything. You know, darken the colors. Luminance, brightness, they're kind of the same thing, kind of, sort of. I'm sure there's a different definition for them, but they kind of end up doing the same deal. So luminance is what I want, and I don't want to go too much because what started to happen is the D3000, it just looked odd. So this time I'm going to zoom in. That's better. I think that's just enough. As you do darken this, you start to get these little lines and little highlights and little edges shown, especially around trees and tree limbs and stuff like that, and leaves, whatever. So don't go too far on that because it just looks odd. So just be careful. Alright, let's see. I think I definitely want to leave it color because I think it has enough color. But it just needs more contrast. So what do I want to do to give it some more contrast? Let's try a touch of vibrance. I don't think it needs much. And let's try some, you know what we're going to do? We're going to turn down the brightness. When we turn down the brightness, it's going to saturate everything for us. And you see in this top corner, we're getting those edges that are starting to look weird. So I probably should back off on that sky a little bit. You know, we can just drag our blue slider. That's even better. There we go. Just enough. Just enough. Okay. Now, I still feel like it needs more contrast. Okay, let's try our good old contrast slider. See what we can do. A lot, more. Nah. Didn't do it for me. Let's come back on the vibrance and go to the saturation. The vibrance is more for when you're using it with people in the image so that it doesn't oversaturate their skin. And the saturation is going to saturate everything and add color to everything. Again, brightness can do the same thing by bringing it to the left by darkening all those colors. So that's looking pretty good. Maybe we'll try the sky. This white sky is definitely bothering me. So let's see what we can do with it. We don't want brightness. We probably want just a touch of exposure, I think. Not bad. Not bad. Not a whole lot. Alright, let's go back to the beginning and see how it looks. There's where we started. Not bad. Looking pretty good. And there's where we're at now. I still feel like it needs something, but I just can't figure out what it is. Let's try black and white. See, I like the black and white. See, now if I wanted to, I could go even darker on the sky. But I think I'm going to leave it in color, because I really like this light that's right in here, right along the water. I think that light is really, really neat. Just something about that afternoon sun that I really like. So let's also, you know what? We're going to try and add some grain. It's definitely not something that I usually will play with, but maybe just a touch. I like it. And maybe just a little bit, again, a little bit of vignette. That little bit of vignette will help to darken this left corner over here. We have a little bit darker on the right side, but darken it over here on the left side will help too, and to even that out a little. You know what I'll sometimes do? Hold on a second. Sometimes I'll back up real far away from the computer and look at it. So right now I'm sitting about 6 feet away from the computer, and that gives me a little bit different angle on it, a little different where when I'm sitting right up close to it, it just doesn't, I don't know, just looks different, and I see it from a different perspective. Call me weird or whatever, but yeah, I like this. I think this is the way to go. And we'll see what Jared does. He's probably going to do some stupid black and white thing or something. Lose all this awesome color and this awesome light. But, yeah, we'll see. His turn. See ya.
Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. Greg. I called him Dreg. I don't know why. Greg just edited this file. He probably made fun of me a few times. I don't know what he had to say, but I will find out, and maybe I can get him back because I do the rebuttal to both of our photos at the very end when I make them go side to side or side by side. So we have a photo here that I've noticed was taken with the Nikon D3000 and the 35 1.8. What a great little combination. I wonder who recommended that combination. I know I own that combination. 1/4000th of a second at f1.8 ISO 200 35 millimeters, or basically it's 52 millimeters on the DX camera, Nikon D3000. So what do we have here? We have a photo of a bench on the water's edge, and it looks like it's there's some. I'm pointing. Why am I pointing? You can barely see me pointing here. By the way, you like the hoodie? I'm wearing the hoodie right now. It's really warm. It's actually very, very warm. Right here, you can see that this is like a grandstand where people watch things going on. At least I would think so. I don't know where this is at in the world, but I like this so far. What a cool angle. This is what a 35 millimeter allows you to do. A fixed lens. You can compose, and this is an image you can compose all day long and get it right. If you had to crop this image, you're in trouble. I hope this is not a cropped image, whoever took this. Definitely. So, cool little angle. It's not straight on. If it was straight from the back, it wouldn't create enough dimension. It would be flat, and it just would look flat. Now, with the angle that was chosen, shooting straight out into the water, it's created some lines and some dimension, because there's angles going this way, there's angles going this way, so they're like multiple angles, which is pretty cool. So let's just edit this. What are we going to do? Are we going to make it black and white? No. I hope Greg didn't make it black and white. Let's boomify it. We're going to go up with our contrast, but then I want to pull back on the exposure. It's going to make the colors seem thicker. We're in the shade, so why don't we make it feel like we're in the shade? We're under this tree, as you can see. What kind of tree is it? I think it's a mimosa tree. Mimosa tree, that's what I'm going with. So, let's see. There's the lack of contrast. There's more contrast. Look at how the colors back here in the background come alive just by doing that. I'm not worried about losing detail on the bench. It's a bench. To me, the bench is part of the subject, but it's all about the atmosphere that you are in. Ah, atmosphere. Okay, so what else can we do to this? Let's see what adding more. Oh, snap. I just said, oh, snap. Anyway, that is a lot of saturation. If you were to put this much saturation into it and tried printing it, it would probably bleed quite a bit. What is that? That's something hanging off the edge of the bench. It's not my hair. So there's a good amount of saturation right there. What is that? That looks pretty cool. Oh, sorry, vibrance, not saturation. Here's what would happen if you saturated the heck out of it. So oversaturated, so cool. You can go really far with these colors. Sometimes it gets a little overdone. You don't want to do that. Let's see what some color temperature does to this. We add some yellow, it gets too warm. We take some yellow out, it gets too cold. So I'm just going to go back to where it was because I like this setting. 65-50 on the scale right there. Oh, I didn't touch my black. Hey, fill light? Oh, not. Blacks. Little too much. Too thick. So that's good. 10. Let's see what 5 brings us. Not much difference between 10 and 5. I pumped my contrast all the way up. Ooh, some clarity. Let's throw some clarity in there. Or what happens if we pull back on it? It makes it feel like a Bob Ross painting if you pull back on it, but I don't like pulling back on it. I like this. I like that. That's pretty cool. Let's see where it started. We went from that flat, or it's not flat, it just is what it is, to that. Look how thick the dimensions feel. This feels like a really cool image. It looks like a cool image. I didn't overdo too many things. Don't forget, if you do your saturation too much, it becomes oversaturated and it looks more fake. Let's pump up the saturation a little bit anyway. I didn't do that there. I think that's pretty natural feeling. It feels cool. And you know what would be perfect if you were sitting on this bench? It would be perfect if you had a FroKnowsPhoto hoodie on because, I don't know, it just looks like it's just nice and cozy, or you could sit there and look out into the water and do things like that. So coming up next, I will watch Greg's video, see what he had to do and how he edited it, and then put both images, my image next to his image, and see what we've got. If you want to add your photo and possibly have us edit it, send it to FroKnowsPhoto@gmail.com. Jared Poland, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya. Alright, I am back. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna hang my head in shame or not. I like what Greg did a little bit. Mine is way punchy. Can you guess which one is mine, everybody? Yeah, mine's on the left, Greg's on the right. But you already knew that because you watched our videos. Oh, mine's like a punch in the face. It's like a kick in the teeth. It's so boomy. It just goes, hey, here, let me kick you in the face. Yeah, so on Greg's end, I didn't go black and white, Greg, so hey, take that. But I like the subtleness of his. Oh, I don't want to zoom in on it. I personally don't like the sky. I don't like the hazy thingy-mabobber, but I also don't... No, you know what? I like my sky. I like it. It's nice and nice. But, you know, his is more... Mine's more contrasty. His is more subtle, less of a kick in the face, and more like... Not a kick in the face, whatever that means. He's got more tone, it looks like. There's different things going on. I don't know how to explain it. Mine's, I pumped up my saturation and vibrance. I made that kick a little bit, but, you know, I like his edit on this. Yeah, first time I think I like his edit. It's part of his edit better than mine. Oh, I forgot to turn on my light. There, I turned on my light. Yeah, I like his edit partially more, but looking at him side by side, meh, you know, maybe. Well, you guys let us know what you think. Leave some comments. I keep going back and forth because they're done two different ways. But really, D3000, 35 1.8, really cool. Nicely done. Very happy with what whoever took this did. I like a lot of Greg's edits, a little more subtle. I'm going to go back and study how he did it to see if I could do something like that or if I like what he did. I don't know. Let us know what you think. If you want to send in your file, FroKnowsPhoto@gmail.com. Jared Poland. Until next week. Yeah, let me go back. Until next week, Jared Poland, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.